Welcome back to Super Rare Coins. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 4 most valuable United States coins. These coins may look completely ordinary, but some rare examples have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars in the collector's market. One of these rare coins could even be hiding in your pocket change or old coin collection. So stay with us, and let's quickly explore the top 4 rare and valuable coins. Top 1. The United States of America. It is the 1985 Jefferson 5 cents coin with a P mint mark. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary nickel that millions of people used in daily transactions. However, certain rare examples of this coin in circulated very fine condition with visible scratches have attracted huge attention in the collector's market. Some reports from private auctions suggest that rare versions of this coin have reached values close to $150,000. The Jefferson 5 cents coin has been part of American coinage since 1938. The coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front side, designed by Felix Schlag. On the reverse side, the coin shows Monticello, the historic home of Jefferson in Virginia. Over the decades, billions of Jefferson nickels have been produced, which is why most of them are only worth their face value. However, every once in a while a rare variation appears, and that is exactly what has created excitement around certain 1985 coins with the P mint mark. The P mint mark means the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Interestingly, before 1980, most Philadelphia coins did not have a mint mark, but after that year the P mark began appearing on many coins. In 1985, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels. Because of this large production, most people assume the coin cannot be valuable. But collectors know that rarity is not always about how many coins were minted. Sometimes value comes from small production errors, die variations, or unusual characteristics that make a coin stand out. Some collectors believe that a rare die variety in certain 1985 P nickels is responsible for the extremely high value seen in auctions. These rare pieces may show unusual details in the lettering, date size, or strike quality. In some cases, the large date appearance combined with die imperfections makes the coin unique. When collectors identify a coin with these unusual features, demand increases rapidly. Condition also plays an important role in determining value. The coin we are discussing today is described as circulated in very fine condition with scratches. In coin grading terms, very fine means the coin has clear details but has been used in circulation for some time. The major design elements like Jefferson's hair, face outline, and the Monticello building are still visible, although there is noticeable wear. Small scratches or marks may also appear because the coin has been handled and exchanged many times. Normally, a circulated nickel would only be worth a few cents, but when a rare variety appears, collectors are willing to pay incredible prices. In rare cases, when a unique example appears in the collector's market, bidding can climb dramatically. Auction houses sometimes witness intense competition between collectors who want to add a rare coin to their collections. That is how the estimated value of around $150,000 has been associated with certain rare 1985 P Jefferson nickels. Another reason these coins attract attention is the growing popularity of coin collecting around the world. Many people have started searching through their old jars of coins, hoping to discover something valuable. Stories of rare coins selling for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars inspire collectors to examine every detail carefully. Even a small difference in date size, mint mark placement, or strike quality can change a coin's value dramatically. If you ever come across a 1985 Jefferson 5 cents coin with a P mint mark, it is worth taking a closer look. Examine the date carefully and check if the lettering looks unusual or different from typical nickels. Look for strong details in Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building. Even if the coin shows scratches or signs of circulation, a rare variety could still make it valuable. Using a magnifying glass or coin microscope can help reveal small details that are not visible to the naked eye. Many collectors also compare their coins with reference images from professional grading services. If a coin appears unusual or potentially rare, sending it to a professional grading company can confirm its authenticity and condition. Top 2. The 1987 United States Jefferson 5-cent coin with the D Mint mark. While millions of these coins were produced, and most are only worth their face value, certain rare examples have been associated with auction values reaching close to $180,000. The Jefferson Nickel has been part of American coinage since 1938. The coin was designed by Felix Schlag and features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the front side. Jefferson is shown facing left with the word Liberty and the year of minting beside him. On the reverse side of the coin is the famous building Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia. This design remained on the coin for many decades, making the Jefferson Nickel one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. The specific coin attracting attention today is the 1987 Jefferson Nickel with a D Mint mark. The D Mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. In 1987, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of nickels, which means most examples are extremely common. However, collectors have discovered that certain coins from this year display unusual characteristics that make them highly desirable. One feature that has been mentioned by collectors is the appearance of a large date on some examples. Although the difference might look very small to the average person, experienced collectors pay close attention to the style and size of the numbers on a coin. Slight variations in the date can occur because of differences in the dies used during the minting process. When a coin shows a noticeable variation compared with standard examples, it immediately attracts attention in the numismatic community. Another reason this coin can become extremely valuable is the possibility of minting errors or die varieties. During the coin production process, small mistakes can occur. These may include doubled letters, unusual spacing, weak strikes, or other imperfections created by worn or damaged dies. In some cases, these errors appear only on a limited number of coins before the mint corrects the problem. When collectors discover these unusual coins, they quickly become rare and highly collectible. The coin we are discussing today is described as circulated in very fine condition with scratches. In coin grading terms, very fine means the coin has been used in circulation but still retains many clear details. Jefferson's portrait remains visible, and important features such as the hair, jawline, and facial outline can still be seen clearly. On the reverse side, the Monticello building is also visible, with recognizable columns and structure, although there is noticeable wear from years of handling. Scratches and small marks are common on circulated coins because they pass through many hands over time. While heavy damage can reduce value, minor scratches do not always prevent a coin from being valuable if it has a rare variety or error. In fact, some extremely rare coins remain valuable even when they are not in perfect condition. When rare varieties appear at auctions, competition between collectors can become intense. Many collectors spend years searching for specific coins to complete their collections. When a rare example finally appears on the market, bidding can rise quickly. This is how certain 1987 D Jefferson Nickels have been connected with auction estimates around $180,000. Coin collecting has grown rapidly in recent years, especially because stories of valuable coins inspire people to check their own collections. Many individuals now search through jars of old coins, piggy banks, and inherited collections, hoping to find a rare piece. Sometimes the most valuable discoveries come from coins that people once ignored as ordinary change. If you happen to find a 1987 Jefferson 5 cents coin with a D mint mark, it is worth taking a close look at it. Carefully examine the date and the details of the design. A magnifying glass can help reveal small differences in the lettering or numbers. Pay attention to the strike quality and check for unusual marks that could indicate a minting error. Collectors often compare their coins with reference images from coin catalogs or professional grading websites. If a coin appears unusual or potentially rare, it can be sent to a professional grading service. These organizations authenticate the coin, evaluate its condition, and assign an official grade that helps determine its market value. Top 3. The 1965 Washington quarter with a large date and no mint mark, even in circulated condition with visible scratches and wear. Some rare examples have been associated with auction values reaching nearly $200,000. The Washington quarter has a long and interesting history in United States coinage. The coin was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States. The front of the coin features Washington's portrait facing left, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. On the reverse side is a powerful image of an eagle with its wings spread, holding arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. For many decades, this classic design remained one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. The year 1965 is particularly important in the history of the Washington quarter. During this period, the United States Mint made a major change to the metal composition of the coin. Before 1965, quarters were made from 90% silver. However, rising silver prices forced the government to change the coin's composition to a copper-nickel-clad structure. This means that most 1965 quarters were produced without silver and instead used layers of copper and nickel. Because of this transition, collectors pay special attention to coins from this year. Another unique detail about coins from 1965 is the absence of a mint mark. During the mid-1960s, the United States Mint temporarily removed mint marks from coins to discourage collectors from hoarding newly minted coins. As a result, quarters produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco during this period were released without mint marks. This makes identifying rare varieties more challenging, but also more exciting for collectors. The specific coin being discussed is the 1965 Washington quarter with a large date. In most cases, the size and style of the numbers on a coin may seem insignificant to the average person. However, experienced collectors carefully study these small details. A large date variety means the numbers in the year appear slightly bigger or thicker than usual. This variation can happen because of differences in the dyes used during production. When a unique dye variety is discovered, collectors immediately become interested, because it may represent a limited group of coins. Condition plays an important role when determining the value of any collectible coin. The example we are discussing is described as circulated in very fine condition with scratches. In coin grading, very fine indicates that the coin has been used in everyday circulation, but still retains strong details. George Washington's portrait is clearly visible, and important features such as the hair and facial outline can still be seen. On the reverse side, the eagle design remains recognizable, although there may be noticeable wear on the highest parts of the coin. Scratches and small marks are very common on coins that have circulated for many years. Every time a coin is used in a transaction, it can come into contact with other coins or surfaces that leave small marks. While heavy damage may reduce value, minor scratches do not necessarily prevent a coin from being valuable. If a coin has a rare variety, collectors may still be willing to pay very high prices even when the coin is not in perfect condition. The idea that a circulated quarter could reach a value of around $200,000 might sound unbelievable, but the coin collecting market often surprises people. Rare coins can attract serious collectors who compete strongly during auctions. When two or more collectors want the same rare coin for their collections, bidding can increase dramatically. This competition is what sometimes pushes the final auction price into extremely high ranges. Many collectors today are inspired by stories of valuable coins discovered in everyday places. Old coin jars, inherited collections, and even loose change from stores have sometimes produced remarkable finds. Because of this, more people have started examining their coins closely, hoping to discover a rare treasure. If you ever come across a 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark, it may be worth examining it carefully. Look closely at the size and shape of the numbers in the date. A magnifying glass can help reveal small details that might not be visible to the naked eye. Pay attention to the strike quality and check if the coin appears different from typical quarters of the same year. Collectors often compare their coins with images from professional coin grading services or reference catalogs. If a coin appears unusual or rare, it can be submitted to a professional grading company for authentication. These experts analyze the coin's authenticity, condition, and possible varieties before assigning an official grade that helps determine its value. The fascinating part of coin collecting is that valuable discoveries are still possible today. A coin that once bought a newspaper or a snack decades ago might now be worth a small fortune. The 1965 Washington quarter with a large date and no mint mark shows how an ordinary-looking coin can become an extraordinary collectible. Top 4. The 1994 Washington quarter with a D mint mark and a large date, even when found in circulated condition with visible scratches and wear, certain rare examples have been associated with auction values reaching nearly $250,000. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in United States currency. It was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The coin was designed by sculptor John Flanagan and features a strong portrait of George Washington facing left on the front side. Around the portrait are the words Liberty and In God We Trust, along with the year of minting. On the reverse side of the classic design is a powerful eagle with its wings spread wide, holding arrows and olive branches to symbolize strength and peace. For decades, this design remained a familiar part of everyday American transactions. Millions of Washington quarters passed through the hands of people buying groceries, paying for transportation, or saving coins in jars at home. Because of this large circulation, most quarters from the 1990s are only worth their face value. However, collectors know that sometimes small details can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible. The coin in discussion today is the 1994 Washington quarter with the D mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the United States Mint facility in Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint has produced billions of coins over the years, including large numbers of Washington quarters. While the majority of these coins are common, collectors have discovered that certain examples from specific years show unusual characteristics that make them stand out. One interesting feature mentioned by collectors is the appearance of a large date on some coins. The difference may appear small to someone who is not familiar with coin collecting, but experienced collectors carefully study the size and style of numbers on a coin. A large date variety means the numbers in the year appear slightly larger, thicker, or more prominent than on typical examples. These differences can happen because of the dies used during the minting process. When a new die is created or adjusted, the appearance of the date can sometimes vary. Another factor that can increase the value of a coin is the possibility of minting errors or die varieties. During the production of coins, small mistakes sometimes occur. These mistakes might include doubled lettering, unusual spacing, weak strikes, or small imperfections created by worn or damaged dies. When these unusual features appear on a coin, collectors often consider them rare varieties. If only a small number of coins were produced with that variation, the demand among collectors can increase dramatically. The example being described is in circulated very fine condition with scratches. In coin grading terms, very fine means the coin has been used in everyday circulation, but still retains clear and visible design elements. George Washington's portrait remains recognizable, with visible details in the hair and facial structure. On the reverse side, the eagle design can still be clearly identified, even though the highest parts of the design show wear from years of handling. Scratches and small marks are common on coins that have circulated for a long time. Every time a coin moves through transactions, it can come into contact with other coins and surfaces, creating small marks on the metal. While these imperfections may reduce the grade of a coin slightly, they do not necessarily eliminate its value if the coin possesses a rare variety or special minting characteristic. In the competitive world of coin collecting, rare coins can attract intense interest at auctions. Collectors who specialize in certain coin series often search for specific varieties for many years. When a rare coin finally appears on the market, several collectors may compete to add it to their collections. This competition can quickly push the price much higher than expected. That is one of the reasons certain rare examples of the 1994 D Washington quarter have been associated with estimated auction values approaching $250,000. Stories like this inspire many people to start checking their own coins more carefully. Valuable discoveries have sometimes been made in ordinary places, such as old coin jars, inherited collections, and even loose change received from a store. Because of these stories, more people are beginning to examine the details of their coins instead of ignoring them. If you ever come across a 1994 Washington quarter with a D mint mark, it might be worth taking a closer look. Examine the date carefully and compare it with other quarters from the same period. Look for differences in the size or shape of the numbers, and check for unusual details in the design. Using a magnifying glass can help reveal small variations that are difficult to see with the naked eye. Collectors often compare their coins with images from professional coin catalogs or grading service websites. If a coin appears unusual or potentially rare, sending it to a professional grading service can help confirm its authenticity and condition. These experts carefully examine the coin and assign an official grade, which helps determine its place in the collector's market. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. A coin that once bought a snack or a newspaper decades ago could now be worth a remarkable amount of money. The 1994 Washington quarter, with the D mint mark and large date, shows how even a modern-looking coin can become a valuable collectible under the right circumstances.